Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
Incredible.
Incredible. Oh, yeah, I forgot.
No. It has nothing to do with the
always that
Nets.
same old
no,
crap.
It's not. It is actually not related to the net dominant victory
Here we go.
over
Here
the
comes the
Sacramento
Nick bashing. Go
It
ahead.
has nothing to do with the Knicks. It was I woke up this morning.
Yes.
I saw the sun outside. I went outside, and it felt like spring.
There you go.
And you know something? After weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of 25-degree weather and snow and clouds, I ran around outside this morning with my son, and it felt like spring. So it has nothing to do with Bruce Brown. It has nothing to do with James Harden. It has nothing to do with your coach. I mean, now he doesn't bench R.J. Barrett in the fourth quarter. Has nothing to do with that. It's all about how it feels like spring, man, and that makes me happy.
Good. I'm glad my partner's happy. A
Thank
happy
you.
Evan makes the day go by so much faster.
Are you happy?
I'm always happy.
Good.
Yeah, I mean,
Good.
life is grand these
Yeah.
days. I'm
Good,
always happy. Obviously, I wish my Knicks had won the game. 500 seems to be something we're allergic to right now. And let's just listen. They played like crap. They didn't shoot well. I mean, that's all. Steph Curry at the end was Steph Curry. The New York Knicks, unfortunately, decided they couldn't get the ball in the basket. So,
You know who didn't
I
play
don't
like
lose
crap?
sleep over Nick losses
I
anymore.
want to give you a massage. You know who didn't play like crap? I'm dead serious. Obi
Go.
Toppin for the 13 minutes he was on the
Yeah,
floor. And
yeah.
now the coach has to figure out a way to keep his ass on the floor. And that probably means Toppin and Randall at the 4 and 5.
Yeah, I didn't love Rose kind of overtaking quickly late, doesn't get the ball in his hands really at all
Quickly
in the last couple
stunk
minutes.
last night, dude.
Fair enough, but he's a young guy.
Okay.
You got to let young guys play through that on a building team.
Fair.
We are not a
Fair.
championship team. So look, listen, here's the beauty of being a Knicks fan right now. And I'd like to think I speak for most Knicks fans. I don't get crazy when they lose games because I know what I got. See, like if the Nets lose a bunch of games, you're going to get crazy because you think you have a championship team, and you very well might. When the Knicks lose a game that's close throughout, I don't lose sleep.
Yeah, we're different.
I don't
We're
say to
different,
myself,
bro.
I can't go to bed now because the Knicks lost a home game. The Knicks are an average basketball team.
Most of my life,
I can accept that.
I get that. Most of my life, I've watched average to bad basketball, and that doesn't change how I feel after wins and losses. But that's okay. We're different. We're different people. That's okay.
Exactly. Now, the Nets won. Nobody cares.
I care.
That's the beauty of
75
basketball.
people out there care.
Yeah.
The 300 people in Brooklyn care.
They don't
Kyrie's
listen to the
dad
station.
cares.
Yeah. So the Nets win, the Knicks lose, la-di-da. I mean, it showed. You know what's crazy to me? Yeah, obviously there's going to be a lot of Tiger Woods stuff today because now we know exactly the extent of the injuries. And after yesterday's embarrassing performance by the network known as ESPN, eulogizing the guy like he was dead, when you knew from Jump Street it wasn't life-threatening, was just a sin and terrible television all day and all night long about Tiger Woods. I was trying to think, and I said to myself, you thinker thing, is there another athlete that we would have reacted the same way to who's currently playing? And LeBron for sure.
Brady.
In the NBA. Tom Brady for sure in the NFL. And then, off a cliff.
Yeah.
Not a lot. There's not a lot. Like there's listen, you'd feel bad. You would maybe even bring it up, hey, just kind of blurb, so-and-so got in a car accident. He's being taken to a local hospital. He shattered one leg and an ankle, and he's got rods and screws and pins, but he's going to live. We'd share the story.
Of course.
But would we go wall to wall on the story for any other active player?
Think about this. If there was a long list when you became Thinky McThinkinson or whatever you called
I'm
yourself.
Thinky Thinker thing.
Thinky Thinkerson.
Yeah.
If the list went 5 to 10 deep, then those guys aren't iconic. I mean, the reason why you're an iconic athlete is because the list is insanely short. And you hit on it. You hit on the 3 guys. And that's not to say other guys aren't superstars.
Right. If Patrick Mahomes got in a car accident, we would talk about it.
Of course.
But not the way we did with Tiger Woods.
No, it's Tom Brady,
Not
it's
the same
LeBron
way.
James, and it's Tiger Woods. The one guy that I think was close to that or is close to that, correct me if I'm wrong, is actually another football player, and that's Peyton Manning. Because Peyton
Not
Manning...
active.
Well, not active. No, I get that. He's not active
Yeah.
anymore, but when he was active, he was on that kind of iconic level because he's in your living room all the time. And all the commercials
I don't know if
he
it'd
did.
be wall to wall like that. Like, he's not the Tiger Woods of football.
Right.
Right, he's a great player, Hall of Famer, a lot of commercials,
you know what the
household
bar
name.
is? You know what the bar is, though? I think the bar is someone who doesn't like sports knows full well who that person is. And that's a very short list. Like,
transcending the sport.
Completely. Everybody in this country knows who Tiger Woods is. Everybody in this country now knows who LeBron James and Tom Brady are.
Yeah.
And that's why that really is just the list. Like, it's not to take anything away from Roger Federer. Roger Federer is a great all-time tennis player.
Yeah.
But, no, you know who? I got Serena Williams would.
Serena Williams?
Yes, there's your fourth, yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
Like the greatest, individual female
But
tennis
everybody
player of
knows
all
who
time.
she is. She's iconic.
Worldwide acknowledgement. If Serena Williams was in a terrible car accident, you think it goes wall to wall?
Yeah, I think so.
And what are they doing? They're bringing Chris Everett Lloyd on?
Yes.
And John McEnroe?
ESPN would, yes.
And let's go to Jimmy Connors. Like she's not dead.
Right.
And that was my gripe yesterday. Tiger Woods didn't die. Well, let me rephrase that, because that's going to, if you read that on a piece of paper, that would sound bad. That's not my gripe that he didn't die. Of course, I'm glad he didn't die. My gripe is the fact that they treated it as if he had died. It was like, it was like Kobe aftershock.
It was.
Kind of deal.
Dude, you hit on it, though, because you even said something that I think I felt and a lot of people listening felt yesterday. And this was, because we were on the air as this happened. We were on the air for basically the entire story when you think about it, because we opened the show at 2 o'clock. This had not come out yet. It came out at about 2:35, right after you got your garden popcorn and you turned on my Brooklyn Net popcorn.
And it kind of ruined my reception of the popcorn, so I saved a box for today.
Look at you.
Yes.
Look at you.
Yes.
But I think that first thought that went through all of our minds as you're experiencing it is, the Kobe backlash, because it was a devastating thing that happened.
But you knew, like, when the Kobe thing came out, it was right away, Kobe Bryant's dead.
Yeah.
This was not the same thing.
Right.
This was Tiger Woods has been in a car accident.
But it was our fear. It was the fear I had. It was the fear a lot of people had. That's why when his agent came out a half hour, 45 minutes in and said it's leg injuries, not that we're sitting here celebrating leg injuries, it was this sigh of relief of, okay, all right, this isn't Kobe. He's alive.
Meanwhile, he had a rod put in his tibia and his fibula, maybe? A couple of leg bones. It was a compound fracture. The bone did break the skin. So that bone, just broke into, I guess, multiple pieces.
You know what I thought was really interesting? And I've never been in an accident like this. I mean, I got run over by a taxi. It's far different. Tiger, according to, I think, one of the people that came to rescue him, didn't realize in the moment as he was conscious what had happened to him.
First guy on the scene, and that's a combination of shock and adrenaline.
Yes.
That's what that is. Like he had significant injuries to his legs.
And didn't realize
where
it.
They even said he couldn't get himself up. He couldn't move.
Right.
Which is why they waited to get, to break the window and all that stuff. That's adrenaline and shock.
Right.
He's in a lot of pain right now.
Sure.
Because the adrenaline's worn off, the shock is worn off, and he's in a weird spot also. As a guy that in the past has abused Percocet type medicine, how do you treat a guy for pain management?
I don't know.
That's a big, if you're an addict, and I'm not saying he's an addict, but he was treated for pain medicine issues.
Right.
I'm not sure if they ever called him an addict when he was driving down in Florida under the influence of prescription pills. Hospitals are in a bad spot on that.
Yeah, how do you handle that?
He's in a boatload of pain today.
Sure. And you need that. You need pain medication.
But how much pain medicine do you give a guy that might be an addict?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was scary. The one time I had pain medication, you could feel, I only had it one time, I could feel how it could be so addictive because it really makes you feel so much better and so high in a way. And I remember I had it one time and I said to my wife, I'm done. I can't have it again. Now, obviously, I'm not in the kind of pain Tiger's in or the kind of pain others are in, but you can't just turn that kind of thing down because it helps.
How are you with pain? Pain's relative. There's some guys that have a high tolerance. You don't, maybe for a lot of people, maybe people don't think that Evan Roberts has a high tolerance for pain.
I can't answer it. I don't know.
Well,
I'm going
to
lean towards I have very little tolerance for pain.
Are you still complaining about the boo-boo on your arm for when you jumped in the ice?
I never even noticed that. See, that's where I come across strong. My wife pointed it out. She's like, man, you got like scrapes all over your arm. I said, I didn't even notice.
See?
So maybe I've got a high tolerance of pain.
I think probably not, but I mean, you very well could. Meanwhile, last night, of course, there was only a couple hundred people over at Barclays and a couple thousand, just under a couple thousand folks at Madison Square Garden. If you were one of those lucky people, we'd love to hear from you and what the experience was like being there. to me, watching, and I didn't watch a lot of the Nets game. I flipped it on just to take a look to see how it looked. It didn't look great still because the fans are so separated.
Right.
And obviously at Barclays, there's only a couple hundred anyway. And they have those cool kind of suite type setups. But even when they showed the crowd at Madison Square Garden, and it was great to see people there, fathers and sons next to each other watching the game, it still doesn't look right.
I got to tell you, man, and I'm talking about the Garden here because I went back, I got home, I started everything from the beginning, and a great job by MSG because they showed everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't show the introductions. To the 3,000, it was 3,000. To the 3,000 people that were at Madison Square Garden, I thought they were freaking awesome. And you're right, the look is going to be weird, but what I loved was Julius Randle comes out to address the crowd. He couldn't even get through his thank you because the MVP chant, and I'm not going to sit here poking holes in the MVP. It's irrelevant.
Just fans being fans.
That chant, I got to admit this. I'm not being sarcastic. Gave me goosebumps. And you know how I feel about that. Gave me legitimate goosebumps. I thought it was magical. And maybe my bar was too low. Maybe my attitude was it's 3,000 people. It's going to be depressing.
Right.
The loudness of the Garden crowd. And listen, I say things about the Garden and the Knicks. I have deep respect for that building and that fan base. That rattled me in a good way. That was special. And I'll tell you something else. And I know Steph got off to a hot start. That first defense chant. I got to admit,
because
that's tingles.
The Garden. That's Garden. That's
that didn't give you tingles.
Yeah,
that gave me tingles.
No, I loved hearing it, and you could definitely hear the crowd, no doubt. The look isn't there yet.
Yeah,
but it was so great to have people back.
Dude,
it really was.
It was really special last night.
Yes.
It really was. It's at the beginning. Now, as the game goes on, you start to say, "Oh, this isn't the same." Blah blah blah. But the first 5 minutes, that's why I thought it was really important. I wanted to watch everything from the beginning. And by the way, the Nets did none of that. Okay, they didn't show it. There wasn't that. I mean, maybe there was loudness. They didn't show it. I have no idea.
Maybe they were a little embarrassed about what they've done off the court the last couple of weeks.
300 people there.
Right, it's embarrassing.
So whatever. Blank them is what I'll say. I'm focusing on the Knicks. I mean it.
I think the Nets recognize they made a terrible football. Why show it? And that means you're forced the announcers to talk about it. And Carino and
Tim Capstraw.
And the Capstraw man.
Yeah.
I know they must have gotten a memo. Say good things about what the Nets have done tonight because that was embarrassing too in the pregame.
Oh, I didn't hear that. What happened?
What a great job by this organization. Is that right? 300 people at $13,000 a ticket?
Yeah.
What a great job by this organization. Okay.
They did one great thing.
I recognize I know you get your paycheck from.
I'll give them credit.
But you don't have to be that much of a shill.
I'll give the Nets.
Shilstein.
I'll give the Nets credit for one thing. You all right?
Chris Cashillerino.
Come on.
Timmy Capstrill Straw.
You got any more?
That's all I got.
Now, I'll give the Nets credit for one thing they did.
Mick Shomonigal.
Now you turn it on him? I think the Nets sent out tests, so I think that part's cool. Outside of that, they didn't do a great job. They didn't do anything great.
So listen, we got lots to do. 877-337-6666. My main man Jake is in Forest Hills. Jake's on the fan. How are you today?
Good. How you guys doing?
Hey, speaking of shills, how about Tommy wearing a WFAN t-shirt today because he heard the big bosses were coming by for a visit? Wow. Transparency at its best. Yuck. A baby blue WFAN shirt because you thought there were some executives coming in today? Ugh. Maybe your job isn't safe. All right. Sorry, Jake. What do you got?
No, it's okay. I was going to say, at least he's not burping today.
Yes, he's not burped in over a week, by the way. I give him credit. Well. He's doing very good. We're very proud of our young puppy.
I just wanted to say, watching the game, it was good to see the fans back. It was nice to see, Julius Randle. I really felt his happiness. It was good to see.
You know the best thing Julius Randle did last night? Best thing he did? Get kicked out of the game when the game was over. Best thing he did. Because they were pissed at the refs. I'm not going to argue refs could have been. It's refs. It is what it is. He had already gotten the earlier tech. Game is over.
Right.
They're not coming back. And he was like, F it.
Yes.
I applauded that. I thought it was a smart move on his part. So, Jake, we love you. You love us. We're like Barney.
Yeah, man. I just want to say it's good, to hear you guys together. You grew on me. And Craig, I really appreciate you, respect you, because you grew on me. From an outsider perspective, not going on, you say, how this guy, how does this happen? And then, I've been listening and just learning from you in just such a short time. I'm really glad to have you back and you guys together. It's a really good combo.
Well, I would say this. Learn from the mistakes I made and know that if you bust your ass and do the right thing afterwards, you do have opportunities for second chances. And I'm a living proof of that and very blessed to have that second chance. And as someone said to me earlier today in this building, you guys are an acquired taste. It's not, sometimes it takes.
Who said that?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you said it.
I want to know who
I'm not
said
going to tell you said it, but we're in a, like,
taste.
you may not get it day one.
Right.
You may have to listen a couple days to understand the nuances of what Carton and Roberts do.
You don't think we could be judged off of 3 shows?
Well, we were judged off 3 shows. Yes. Although they, just one jackass. Who cares, right? But they changed the parameters of how you judge.
Right.
Like there used to be one currency. This is how we judge things. Black and white. This is how you judge radio in New York. Then Carton and Roberts came along, and suddenly, for some reason, they changed the currency of how you judge people. Now it's not if you win and lose. Now it's about 17 things that have nothing at all to do with the time that you're on the radio. But so be it. Listen, we have fought and defeated much bigger dragons, so I'm really not all that worried about it. I slept great last night. I did.
I'm glad
my
you
air
did.
mattress was blown up
Look
nice
at
and
you.
the way I like it.
I want you to be honest with me about something, because I think I'm coming across very sappy, but I'm very honest.
Yes.
Did you get a little teary-eyed during that Julius Randle and his mom scene?
No,
that kind
I
of
did not.
Not at all?
I don't get, the teary-eyed
Dude.
thing, no.
I don't even like the Knicks, but his mom's like, I'm so proud of you, Julius. And Julius stops in his track,
Yeah.
and he's staring at the screen. And did you hear what Clyde said? Clyde's like, she does not look like Julius's mom. More like Julius's sister.
That's Clyde being Clyde.
I loved it. That
will
whole
say,
scene was my favorite part
I
of the game.
respected her a great deal.
It was awesome.
Because you recognize the love of mother to son, being able to watch your boy in the garden, all that stuff. So, yes,
Do you
I
like
loved
how
it.
I feel about the Knicks today? I'm pretty positive.
I've told you in the past, and I think Knicks fans have told you this as well.
care.
We don't care
Yeah, you do.
what you think about us or our team.
I think
We
you
don't.
do. I think you do a little bit.
We don't.
Yeah.
Now, there'll come a point later this year, knock on wood, where you and I have to sit here and break down a Knick game, win or lose. A meaningful game is what I'm getting at. And you're entitled to your opinion. You love basketball, and you have an opinion. And we just hope that that opinion is not somehow biased through a lack of objectivity.
Unbiased with this team.
But-
like they should have overturned that call last night.
But at
with
the
the
end-
R.J. Barrett Kelly Oubre play. See, look at me.
Yeah, the excuse was weak
See?
that he turned sideways
It
in
was a
midair.
hip check. Give me a break.
Whatever.
See,
That's not why we
Team you.
lost the game.
I didn't say it was.
That being said,
Yeah.
but I want to be clear.
Be clear.
Speaking for all Knicks fans,
Mm-hmm.
we don't care. We truly don't care what you think about us
Mm-hmm.
or about our team. Now, you want to break down a play? Respect your opinion 100%. But we don't care what you
care.
think.
You care. I could see it in your
Put it out
eyes.
there.
I could see it in your eyes. There's a little twinkle.
For those of you that may have watched ESPN yesterday, good news, Tiger's not dead. He's very much alive. Rods and screws and plates, I guess it's his right leg, the whole way down. And he's not going to have to learn how to walk again, but he ain't going to be walking without help for a while. So don't even worry about golf. That's done. For now.
Way
Who knows,
down
though?
the road. You think of Alex Smith and the comeback he
If
made,
Alex
you
Smith
never
can
know.
play tackle football at the NFL level, I would think that there would be an opportunity for Tiger Woods to play golf again.
But it's way down the road.
Competitively, I have no idea. I think the biggest fear right now is what Alex Smith went through. When you have an open fracture or a compound fracture, meaning the bone breaks the skin, the biggest fear is what?
What?
Dr. Roberts, what's the biggest fear?
Who claims to be a doctor?
Dirt.
Do I?
Dirt getting inside. And when dirt gets inside,
Right.
what happens?
I don't know. You're the doctor here,
Okay, I'll
Craig.
tell you what happens.
Dr. Craig.
A red line starts to slowly travel up your leg.
Right.
You know what that red line is?
Tell me.
What happened to Alex Smith?
Explain the whole thing. What are you questioning me for? I ain't no doctor. I don't pretend to be one.
Dr. McMonagle?
Well, infection or
Thank you.
sepsis.
Infection.
Oh, thank you.
The biggest fear for Tiger for the next 3 days is infection.
When did Alex
Yes.
Smith, as he was recovering, ever start to think seriously, I'm going to play football again? And I bet you it was way
Not
down
until
the
he
line.
went to that military institute and started his rehab with, veterans.
Right, that's the thing.
I think. And one of the doctors, he was, depressed, miserable, as you could imagine. And one of the therapists or rehab folks brought a football to the workouts. And he had not touched a football since the injury. And they threw him the ball, and apparently that changed everything.
Right.
So, anyway, we got lots to do today. Hopefully you'll be a big part of it.